Hey everyone, I'm Gray Doolin. I'm a desire and intimacy coach, and it is Thursday, so I'm here for Q&A Thursday. Today's question is, what do you mean when you talk about embodiment? So I'm going to tell you when I talk about embodiment, what it is that I mean by that. Various people have different definitions of it, various people, various definitions, lots of ways to do embodiment. But when I talk about embodiment, and especially as it shows up in my work, how I use it as the first pillar of the embodied manifestation method, I'm simply talking about being present with the sensation that is currently happening in our bodies. In this moment, can I be present with the sensation that is alive, that is there? And that can even be numbness, which you might not think of as aliveness or feeling very alive, but that is a sensation that is there. So it's even being present with that. So, and I say this all the time when I talk about embodiment, or especially like this first pillar, what it means to be embodied, is that it's really simple and it's not easy, or else all of us would be walking around as like embodied beings, right? But most of us are not in our bodies because the sensation that is there doesn't feel good, or we don't know how to feel it, or our culture certainly doesn't promote or teach us ways to be present with those sensations. If our body has experienced a lot of trauma, it's not going to feel safe to feel those sensations. So there are all kinds of reasons that we leave our bodies and our experiences in the present moment with what is happening currently. So embodiment's very simple. You don't need to go enroll in some dance class or get a gym membership or do all of these other sort of I don't know, maybe things that people might think that that's what it means to be embodied, is we gotta do some elaborate dance routine or contemporary interpretive whatever, or practice breath work or do mindfulness or go sing or whatever. Those are all ways to do embodied practices, and people who do those practices can do those without being embodied. Those things, they're not synonymous. And so simple, not easy. You can do, so nothing elaborate. You can do it sitting up. You can be present with the sensation lying down. You can do a sort of walking, meditative, embodied practice that way. Literally just being present with what is here. So if I was to say to you right now, I'm aware of, my fingers are cold because it's cold here. We're having our first winter weather advisory. It's snowing. So I feel some coldness in my fingers. My thumbs are buzzing, sort of humming. My forearms feel pretty just still, just quiet, and then just tracing that up into the bicep, just following the sensations that are present, feeling some heaviness in my feet as they support me as I'm on camera standing up in this room. And so embodiment is important. Again, this is the crux of my work, is because our bodies are just they're literally everything. They carry such important information for us to follow, to be aware of. They help us know when our boundaries are being crossed, whether someone else is crossing them or we're crossing our own. They help us know if the same thing comes up with a trigger comes up with a friend or with a partner or whatever. It helps us understand the lineage of that trigger in our bodies. It helps us understand and open to receive joy and pleasure or community or connection, intimacy. It literally is just the pivot point of all of these ways of knowing. And so beginning to be present to those sensations just means being more present and expansive and allowing in, having more capacity to receive what's in our world, receive what's in our inner world, receive what's in our outer world. So that's it. That's embodiment. That's what I mean when I talk about it. And, so I get on camera, I write these posts or send you a newsletter and, verbally describe what these practices are. And if you want to have some experience and insight into how to do these practices on your own, or to learn some of the practices that I do for embodiment, please come and join me Saturday, November 20th. I'm starting these monthly skills labs, embodied intimacy skills labs. And it's really about intimacy with self. And so if you want to learn some of these, taking these things that I'm talking about sort of from a cognitive perspective and actually begin to practice them, so you can learn how to do them yourself, I would love to have you join. They're free. It's absolutely free. And right, you can learn moving from your head into your body, learning where your boundaries sit in your body, even like what sensation feels most prominent. I mean, whatever the sort of goal is for you around that, like this is the way to begin to learn some of these practices and skills and have them as part of your toolkit. So, but you got to be on my mail list to get that invite. I'll put the link, if you're seeing this on Facebook, I'll put the link below. If you're catching this on Instagram, you can find the link in my bio to sign up for the mailing list. The invitation's already gone out. It will continue to go out to people on the list. And I would love to see you on the 20th of November. It's 1 p.m. Central. And I hope to see you there.